Hello, my name is Fossil, and welcome to this quick guide on how to obtain Nerub-ar Palace tier sets in World of Warcraft without having to ever actually enter the Nerub-ar Palace raid. To unlock these appearances, we're going to get gear from the 10.0.7 patch zone, Siren Isle, and then turn that gear into tier and unlock the LFR tier set appearances. To unlock these appearances, there are a few requirements. We're going to need a level 80 character, we'll need access to the Catalyst, and we have to have unlocked the Siren Isle. Don't worry if you don't have access to the Catalyst or the Siren Isle, it's super easy to get access to both, and I'll show you how in a second. Now, if you haven't unlocked access to the Catalyst, which is a machine located in Donegal, it is super easy. To unlock the Catalyst, all you have to do is visit this NPC, Custodian Cubon, here in Donegal, click through the quest he gives you, and voila, you can access the Catalyst now. This is where we will turn regular pieces of gear into tier and unlock the cool appearances for each class. If this is your character's first time using the Catalyst, it will have 8 charges, because it's been long enough since the start of the season that it has charged up to 8. However, 8 is plenty, because we only need 7 charges for the 7 pieces of armor that we can buy to then catalyze. If you have less than 7 charges, because you've catalyzed a piece of gear recently in Season 1 of the War Within, and it hasn't recharged back to 7 or more, just choose the bigger pieces of armor like chest or shoulders or helm, and then later on you can catalyze the rest. The final requirement is to access the Siren Isle, the 10.0.7 patch zone. If you haven't unlocked the Siren Isle, as long as one of your characters has completed the main The War Within storyline, you can visit Dawn inside the Foundation Hall in Donegal and accept the quest they give you called The Expedition Awaits. I'll put the link to the Wowhead article in the description. That quest, which is less of a quest and more just clicking through dialogue, will lead you to an airship in the far northeast of Donegal. This airship is how you get to the Siren Isle. Once you've completed the quest that brought you there, you can speak to Sky Captain Cable Clamp and click the option to take you to the Siren Isle. Once you're on the island, go through the quick intro questline that ends with being given Circe's Circlet. Now, the next step is to farm the currency called Flame Blessed Iron, to then exchange for gear from Argorom, the trusty gear vendor in the camp. Flame Blessed Iron can be obtained from pretty much every enemy, elite and rare on the Siren Isle, as well as daily and weekly quests. The best source of iron I found is from doing weekly quests and killing rares that show up on the island. To get the Flame Blessed Iron that I needed, I killed a few rares, picked up and completed a few weekly quests, and eventually I got around 1300 Flame Blessed Iron. Honestly, collecting the Flame Blessed Iron will probably be the longest part of obtaining these appearances, but even then it really only took me around 15 minutes to collect enough. Alternatively, if you've already been to the Siren Isle with other characters, you can just use the transfer feature on your character's currency screen and transfer that Flame Blessed Iron to the character that you want to get the class appearance for. Ultimately, I only needed 1050 Flame Blessed Iron to buy all 7 eligible pieces of gear on my Evoker. Once you have the iron, you will want to go to Argorom, located here at Flotsam Shoal. By interacting with him, you can spend your Flame Blessed Iron and obtain pieces of gear that are the correct armor type for your character. We're focusing on getting the appearances of the raid sets, so let's focus on articles of clothing that can be seen in your character and not trinkets, rings, necks, etc. I recommend getting the helm, shoulder, chest, hands, leg, bracer, and belt pieces of armor. The boot and cloak appearances of the tier sets only come from the raid, but they don't make too much of an impact on the final look, and so I'm pretending they don't exist. Whilst buying this armor will have likely given you new appearances, they're not the Nerub-ar Palace Season 1 tier set appearances. To get those, we're going to head back to Donegal once more. Once you're back in the city, head to the Catalyst that I showed you earlier. You will see that you can now catalyze the pieces of gear you bought on the Siren Isle into tier set appearances that have their very own unique appearances. Because I didn't already have the Evoker tier set appearances, I used my Evoker character to farm the iron on the Siren Isle, and now I'm going to convert all of the equipment I just bought into the Evoker tier set, which I think looks pretty cool. Not only do these armor appearances have really cool unique effects, they also have their tier effects like any other piece of tier gear that drops from the raid. I hope this video helps you to collect some really cool unique tier set appearances, and please give this video a like and comment and tell me about the tier sets that you collect. It will really help me to make more guides to cool parts of World of Warcraft. Thanks so much, have a wonderful day.